Welcome to GNIC, the oldest and the largest insurance company in the Gambia.
Over 37 years, we kept this nation safe and insured. In terms of cars, travel, property, cash in transit, and medical, our presence breathed an air of confidence. We are reliable and professional, paying all our claims on time and putting a smile on your face.
GNIC. Visit us today for all forms of insurance coverage.
And before we go, a reminder of our headlines. Celebrants marking National Science Week have called for greater efforts to bolster the teaching of the subject in view of its importance to national development endeavors. Staff of the Ministry of the Interior Online Department seeking to enhance effective management of migration data have been reinforcing their data collating skills. The militant Somali Islamic group Al-Shabaab has offered to hold negotiations with the government in Nairobi, this as Kenyan troops continue to push deeper into Somali territory. And rising floodwaters are threatening to submerge the whole of the Thai city capital, Bangkok, following weeks of unrelenting monsoon rains. You can also follow that story and other Grts programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor Grts Radio Live. That brings us to the end of this edition of the news. Thanks for watching and join us at 10 for another bulletin. Meanwhile, stay tuned and enjoy our programs.
Have been made in areas such as communication, power, medicine, and food technology. The world has virtually shrunken to look more and more like a village community. Increased competition for the world's resources as populations have exploded exponentially. Science and its application, technology, are the tools that humanity has at its disposal to do just this. Technologies that generate power, such as thermal, solar, wind, tidal wave, and others will be explored. Wireless technologies have revolutionized the way we work, communicate, compute, socialize, and even have fun. This TV program will give you an insider's view on how it works.
It's a big warm welcome to our first sensitization program about the oncoming presidential elections taking place on the 24th of November 2011. Today with me in the studio, Mr. Male Salah. He's the Vice Chairman of the Independent Electoral Commission. He'll be talking to us in English. Then Mr. Joseph Koli, or Joe, he is the Director of Training and Communication. He will be talking to us in Wolof, and Lamin A. Jata, who is the Regional Electoral Officer for the West Coast region, will be delivering in Mandinka. Then we have Amadou Tal, who is also the Regional Electoral Officer for the KMC. He will also be talking to us in Fula. Then Mr. Babkar Ndong, the Assistant Regional Electoral Officer for Banjul, is our expert in sign language. He will be doing sign language for the disabled to understand what's going on in the program today. Well, as I said, this is the introduction to what's coming up in the presidential elections. And as Mr. Male Sala is with us in the studio, he is the vice chairman. I will start with him. This is the first program which we'll be doing, and I'm sure we will do a lot of programs before elections. Mr. Sala, well, what would you like to tell our listeners at this point? Because the thing is very close and people are making preparations for the elections. And what is the stand for the IEC at this moment?
Thank you, Musa. First of all, let me welcome the viewers and thank Grts for giving us this opportunity to be able to sensitize the Gambian people on the preparations of the IEC as we move towards the presidential elections. I would like to start by maybe just introducing that we just completed a general voter registration, and the results, the number of people registered from that voter registration stands at 796,929 voters. So our voter register will have 796,929 voters on it. Now, using these figures from the general voter registration, the IEC decided now to separate voters into polling stations. And it's as follows. Banjul will have 34 polling stations. Kanifing administrative area will have 269 polling stations. West Coast region will have 399 polling stations. Lower River division or Lower River region will have 83 polling stations. North Bank region will have 165 polling stations. Central River region will have 181 polling stations, and Upper River region will have 171 polling stations. If we notice, there is a marked increase from the polling stations that we used during the last set of elections. This the Commission has done, number one, because the voter population has increased, and secondly, because we want to bring these elections closer to the people. We want to make sure that people are not traveling too far to find their polling stations, and when they go to vote, they vote as quickly as possible, and so we will avoid all these long queues that might have existed in previous elections. So the Commission has increased the polling stations markedly in order to facilitate the voting process on the 24th of November. Now, we would like to also share with the public the preparations that the IEC has embarked on that would lead us to a successful 24th of November. Nomination day, as the chairman has already announced, will be on the 10th of November. Now, on the 11th of November, the public can come to the IEC and scrutinize the nomination papers that potential candidates have presented to the IEC. Now, also on the 11th in the afternoon, the chairman, who is the returning officer for the presidential elections, will then scrutinize all the nomination papers and make a final decision to, as to whether the nomination papers that have been presented are valid, and those who have presented their papers can now contest in the November 24th elections. Now, on the 12th of November, on the 11th of November, the Commission will sit with all the political parties who would have presented their campaign itineraries. We would reconcile them to make sure that no two candidates are meeting at the same venue at the same time. Once this is done, all campaign itineraries will be approved, and campaign begins from the 12th of November to the 22nd of November. Now, whilst the campaign is going on the 22nd of November, the Commission will start deploying its staff to the 1,302 polling stations. Please note that this will be a major operation because the IEC will